Man, what is happening, my YouTube family? Of course, it is your boy B New. I'm coming at you on this Friday. And first and foremost, as always, want to send out positive vibrations and blessings to anybody who could be listening. Now, with all that being said, we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers were back at home on yesterday, taking on none other than the Denver Nuggets as the Lakers seek to get their fourth victory in a row, which I think might have been their longest winning streak of the year because, as we know, the Lakers have had an up and down season since the beginning of the year. And a lot of that, I dare say, is due to injuries to key contributors of the team. Although we all know that LeBron James Anthony Davis have been healthy for the most part of the season, it just goes to show you that you need a healthy team from, just role players and everybody else doing their part in order to be successful in today's league, which is talented from top to bottom, which we will talk about here in a minute too. But if you take a look at a team like the Denver Nuggets, you'll see exactly what I mean when you talk about people able to get the job done, and a Michael Porter and Aaron Gordon, as far as being able to play defense well in this league, is also being able to be very reliable three-point shooters. And then we don't even need to talk about what Nicola Jokic brings to the table, but this isn't going to be a show just talking about the accolades and the greatness of the Denver Nuggets, who are the defending champions, who a lot of people are sleeping on right now. As we know, the race is very tight at the top of the Western Conference, but want to focus a little bit more on the Los Angeles Lakers, not only on that game of yesterday, but as a whole and in general, and moving forward. As we see, they didn't make any moves leading to the trade deadline. Now, one thing I will say is the Lakers, intact, fully healthy, I have a lot of confidence in that they can make some moves and surprise a lot of people, because I think when fully healthy and getting on a roll, then you would look at the Los Angeles Lakers the same way as you did last year, who made a deep run to the Western Conference Finals. But there are a few differences. Of course, there's no Dennis Schroeder, but you bring in a Gibson, and then, of course, he's been injured this entire season for the most part, only played maybe one or two games, which has been unfortunate. Same thing seems to happen with the Lakers all the time. They get a little guard. I think Kendrick Nunn, a couple years ago, same thing. Oh, Nunn's going to come in and do this or do that. And, of course, as soon as he comes in, we saw what happened, injured and never really effective in the Lakers uniform. So at the end of the day, the Lakers were without yesterday D'Angelo Russell, I think, who was suffering what they say was from knee soreness, and we knew they would be playing back-to-back games because they do have a matchup against the New Orleans Pelicans tonight. We could talk about that if time permits, but going back to what I was saying, no D'Angelo Russell on yesterday. Some thought, well, is it because they were trying to move him at the trade deadline and it just didn't pan out? So now here he is sitting, maybe pouting, but maybe not. Maybe it's just business as usual. Maybe the injury is real. Who knows? At the end of the day, he ultimately did not play yesterday, and that put the Lakers in a bit of a conundrum because you have now Austin Reeves starting at point guard, who can handle the ball, but wouldn't be, I say, your traditional point guard who you want to handle the ball all game, even though LeBron James does take on a lot of the ball handling responsibilities for the Lakers when he is on the court, of course. But at the end of the day, you start Austin Reeves and Max Christie. I, for one, was excited because, as you all know, I've been a huge fan of Max Christie since the beginning of, maybe even going back into last season. I feel like he plays good defense. He has size as far as being in the backcourt. He has athleticism as far as being a guard, capable of finishing at the rim. And I think he is a confident three-point shooter. And Max Christie, although on yesterday he only played for 15 minutes, he was starting to impact the game, even though he was only 2 out of 7. He was 2 out of 3 from three-point land. And, of course, he was going to continue to probably get good looks as the game progressed. And, of course, ultimately it did hurt the Lakers because they did not have the depth in the backcourt, because already you're missing D'Lo, and then not only are you missing D'Lo, of course, Cam Reddish, who has been out for quite some time now dealing with knee soreness. And then, to me, the main person who really would have helped the Lakers seal a victory yesterday, and I really think the Los Angeles Lakers, if fully healthy, can and will beat the Denver Nuggets in a series, because as you see yesterday, the Nuggets really struggled, although they were minus a KCP. They really struggled on yesterday to beat the Lakers, and the Lakers were very shorthanded, missing that of D'Angelo Russell, who has been giving them quite the shot in the arm on offense. And if you can see, over the Lakers' past 10 games, they've been top 3 in offense, and a lot of that was due to D'Angelo Russell, the rhythm that he's been in. So let's just hope his rhythm isn't being affected, and now he knows he's not going to be traded. Maybe he can regain that confidence that he had in that prior game winning streak that the Lakers was on and come back and play tonight. As of now, I don't think the Lakers have announced their starting lineup as of yet, so I don't know if D'Lo will be playing or not tonight. Haven't heard about AD or LeBron. We know on the second night of a back-to-back, one of them tends to rest, but right about now, I don't think they have that luxury, because you have a Utah Jazz team nipping at their heels right there at number 10, and you know the Lakers only sit one game above 500 at number 9, and you have to think Golden State is starting to turn that corner and look good and gain momentum as they went on the road to beat Philly. Then they went on the road and beat Indiana while they're on their East Coast road trip. So the Golden State Warriors aren't going anywhere. They're going to, and that shows you how deep the Western Conference is. And if it wasn't for the injuries of the Memphis Grizzlies with Steven Adams, the suspension and injury to Ja Morant, you would have a Grizzlies team fighting and scrapping for theirs as well. So you got, and that's what I'm saying. If you talk about the 80s and 90s compared to today, these teams this is not a top heavy league. And you talk about, well, people beat this team off this many 50, man, who cares about 50-win teams when you got teams just constantly beating each other up in day and night? And you look at Jamal Murray, who is not even an all-star. Come on now. Jamal Murray would be a superstar back then, and he's not even an all-star right now. So let's not even get into that conversation. I'm an old head, but I keep it 100. Y'all already know how I do. But at the end of the day, the Lakers, had they been fully healthy on yesterday with a Cam Reddish, with a D'Angelo Russell, and more importantly, a Jared Vanderbilt, who we all know can guard. And, as the game wind down on yesterday after Austin Reeves hit the 3, you thought, here the Lakers come. I would like to see the ball in LeBron James' hands a little bit more down the stretch. But unfortunately, Austin Reeves made a play trying to get out to Jokic and get a steal, which I don't think was the best of moves, leaving Porter open for the 3. And that really was the nail in the coffin that started that run, because then you had Murray, of course, get around that screen, and Prince, he tried to fight through. That's why I like a Vanderbilt. A Vanderbilt wouldn't have been as moved by that, because he can fight through screens a lot better than, I would say, a Taurean Prince, because I've seen him do it on several occasions, although that was a hell of a screen that Jokic set, and you had to get around it coming from that direction. So the Lakers did a lot of switching on yesterday too, and you could see Hachimura, as he switched on Jokic sometimes, that would still work, even though he doesn't have the size, but he has just enough size to be able to guard Jokic until the help comes. But of course, when the help does come, Jokic is masterful at finding the open person, the open cutter, as he did a couple of times, even I think on one play down the stretch, like he had eyes in the back of his head and threw it to, I think it was Porter Jr. who was cutting, or maybe Gordon who was cutting, and LeBron James had too many eyes on Jokic, and the back door was open, and the Nuggets scored. So unfortunately, even though the Lakers held on and made it a close game, I didn't think it would be a game that they would ultimately win, because even during the stretch, once Max Christie went down, now they're very thin. So now you have no Max Christie, who is really probably wouldn't even be playing if you were fully healthy, but no Cam Reddish. Then you talk about no D'Angelo Russell, and you talk about no Vanderbilt. So you're talking about 4 key contributors that the Lakers were without. And I dare say, if those players were playing last night, as close as that game was in the playoff intensity that they were playing with to start the game, I think, the game probably would have went another direction had the Lakers been fully healthy. LeBron James at his age continues to play phenomenal, even though, they send in Aaron Gordon, who is a very good defender at him. Porter Jr. sometimes, at times, guarding both he and Anthony Davis, as the Denver Nuggets like to switch as well. But LeBron James didn't get it going from the outside. He did hit 2 threes in a row at one point, but at the end of the day, 9 out of 20, 45% for LeBron James, 2 out of 6 from 3. He did finish with 25 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. So I did hit my FanDuel for that for LeBron James for the 25 or over. Appreciate that part, even though they didn't get the victory. your boy got his victory. But Anthony Davis in 38 minutes, 14 out of 27, had a hell of a game. Got to give it shouts out to Anthony Davis, who had 32 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, 3 assists. Anthony Davis, who I dare say may have even outplayed Nicola Jokic, who was 9 out of 20 for 45%, only 2 out of 6 from 3, and only 24 points. But if you look at the assists, 9 assists by Jokic, but you know, at best you could say it was even. So if not, you really got to give it to Anthony Davis. So Anthony Davis did his part. LeBron James showed up and did his part for the most part, except down the stretch. I think he could have got involved in the offense a little bit more and just put his head down and went to the basket like he does at times and forced his way to the free throw line like he did the other time against the victory and what's that, a couple of games ago. But, you know, it was not to be today. Christian Wood had a decent game. Hayes, can't talk about Hayes enough. I'm thinking that Jackson Hayes could potentially, hear me out on this, take over the role of a Jared Vanderbilt until Jared Vanderbilt gets back healthy. I think Jackson Hayes could come in and be that guy because he was everywhere, keeping balls alive, getting to the boards, getting to the rebounds, keeping possessions and plays alive, saving balls from going out of bounds. Had the great block. I forget who it was on. I don't know if it was on Holiday or if it was on Gordon or whoever. I think it may have been Holiday. But at the end of the day, Jackson Hayes can be that Jared Vanderbilt. He can't guard 1 through 5 or 1 through 4 like a Jared Vanderbilt can. So you can't really put him out there on a Jamal Murray per se. But even in switches, he was guarding the perimeter decently. So that's something we could look forward to. Lakers take on the Pelicans tonight. Pelicans have been playing great basketball as of late. So let's just see. It's going to be interesting. We know Brandon Ingram definitely likes to show up and show out, you know, playing against his former team. This game is going to be in LA tonight. So I just feel like the Lakers are going to do what they need to do to pull it out. As of right now, me recording this video, haven't got any updates as of not, you know, if LeBron or AD will be playing or D'Angelo Russell. So that'll make it very interesting. But if I do, maybe I'll come back and drop a short. Y'all stay tuned. But man, if you haven't done so already, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. And as always, this is your boy B New. I'm saying right on to the real and much love to these haters. I'm out.